Is AI going to take video jobs? Yes and no. The truth is, the industry is not dying. It's just evolving. What is up, guys? Thank you again for joining me on this channel, Yehagraphy. My name is Yehambaram. Here I'm providing tips and tricks and industry insights to what I've known for the past 16, 17 years. Is it 16, 17? I always say 15, 16 or 16, 17. I don't know, I gotta get that right. But anyways, thank you again for coming back. If you haven't done so, please comment, like, and subscribe. This will help me, kind of get buddy-buddy with the algorithm. So I appreciate every like, every comment, every subscribe, and every eyes and ears. That's the main thing. So today we're going to talk about, is AI taking over your jobs? The simple answer is yes and no. So before I get into the points that I want to touch on, I just want to let everyone know in this industry is that I started at a time where it was beta tapes, literally. And then it moved to mini DVs. And then it moved to P2 cards. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then CF cards, and now SD cards, and then CF Express cards. And then in the editing realm, it was, I started with Avid Express, and then moved on to Final Cut 7, and then to Premiere, and then to Final Cut X, and then to Premiere again, and to DaVinci Resolve, and to Premiere again. I mean, the industry is constantly evolving, and AI is basically already here, and it's another evolution in the industry. So to all of you that feel like, oh my God, it's a dying career, I would say no, it's not. It's an evolving career. So don't feel discouraged, just feel empowered that I would say the mundane task that used to be time consuming is going to make things faster. Technical tasks, whether it's in editing and filming, and you're going to spend more time being more creative. Embrace AI and evolve with it, because if you don't, then you will be a dinosaur. But if you do, then you will be the new shining object that everybody wants to grab on and everybody wants to use to create their brand, their content, their event, their, whatever that entails in this creative video space. So something to keep in mind moving forward. So with that being said, this brings me to my first point. AI is already here and it's not slowing down. So I'm sure all of you have seen that AI can do some edits, not some, but quite a bit, like chopping up, long form videos into short form clips. Now, they can even generate scripts, generate voiceovers, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing, and it is something that I've been waiting for a very long time. But doesn't mean it, just because it can do it, that doesn't mean it should, because one thing that AI doesn't really have yet is taste. So, and what do I mean by this? So, just to give you an example, I'm not gonna try and name the company, but I am signed up for a couple of those, online platforms that basically edits your clips, and that's the reason why I'm able to actually post, this content pertaining to my personal brand onto social media really quickly, is because these platforms allow to basically cut up, short clips from those long form videos in a very efficient and fast way, and which is great for me because, most of the time I'm pretty much, editing myself, or I do have sometimes outsource some of my edits to other people. But in terms of creating a lot of content in a very short period of time, these platforms help quite a bit, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but there are some things that it doesn't really do. And when I say it doesn't have taste, you can prompt it to cut out certain things or help you like or tell it like what points you want it to cut out, but it still doesn't really fully understand what parts you really want. That's where you as the creator have that edge, because that is a nuance that I believe, or I feel and strongly feel that it's a human element. Like, until the day that AI or artificial intelligence has adapted to emotional intelligence, that's when I would say, oh, that's it. You know, AI is going to be doing videos and editing and creating content with the nuances of understanding how a human perceives and feels, right? So I think till that point comes, I don't think it's there yet. It's getting there, but I don't think it'll be there yet. So hence why, you know, I say this with absolute certainty, is that it doesn't really have taste yet. It doesn't understand the emotional intelligence side, and it will eventually. It will. Don't get me wrong, it will. I think it's moving at a pace where it will, but at this moment in time, I don't think it will fully. I don't think it fully grasp it yet. The creator, the person who's filming and editing, especially editing in this example, will have an edge per se. And again, as I mentioned before, all those like small tasks, it takes time to do it. So all these tasks that it's going to take a long time will be done in a matter of minutes, a matter of seconds sometimes. So it'll just make you more efficient. Which brings me to my next point, is your job is evolving, not vanishing. There was a time I remember when I first just got into the job market itself. There were videographer jobs, but there were not really video editing jobs. Now, the reason being is because at that time, there were very little companies that had royalty-free footage that you would able to buy and use. It was like pretty expensive at the time. And also, the social media at the time was very, I wouldn't say video-based, it was more like photo-based. So there was not really like a demand for like video editors. But then all of a sudden you see a shift when video started to become prominent in the social media realm, and the editing softwares became much more easier to obtain, because before it was really expensive to buy. I think it was like CS6 back then, or CS5, and then it slowly evolved into the membership-based type of platforms. So you tend to see a shift in, from videographers. They specifically want like video editors, and they specifically want like social content creators, because of the shift in, I guess, how people were viewing things, and social media was prominent with videos. So if you kind of put two and two together, now there's a big shift on how AI is like developing text to video, text to photo. And because the element of emotional intelligence is not exactly there yet, there's going to be a shift in, your role may not be, videographer, video editor. It may be involved into an AI editor, an AI video creator. It's probably going to evolve, and I think it already is evolving into that role. So I think adapting to this new era of being able to, one, capture real life footage, as a filmmaker and editor, but at the same time learning how to use AI generated content or AI generated assets, whether it's photo, videos, and even voiceovers, and integrating with your current workflow of filming and editing as a filmmaker yourself, I think that's the next revolution. And I think the ones that don't evolve into that, those are the dinosaurs that are probably going to be phased out, basically. So something to keep in mind moving forward. So this brings me to my third point, which is emotion still requires a human. So can AI recognize feelings? Not yet. It will get there, but we have the ability to, I guess, I want to say in the circles that I'm in, we have the ability to read the room and kind of feel what is the emotion in the room based on conversations, based on, what has been said. And when it comes to the creating aspect, that's where I guess a lot of when I'm directing a scene or directing a certain, whether it's a wedding or brand commercial or a corporate video, when you're directing someone in that shot, like, you can kind of tell, how you want the scene or the shot to be based on your image in your head, right? You have a certain image in your head. And until AI can actually literally do the same exact thing that you're doing as a creator, picturing the scene in your head and, obviously effectively communicating to your subjects and creating the scene that is almost or like a 90% accurate in your head, then AI will have the edge. But as of now, I don't think it's there yet. And I think that's where, the human element is, is still in the forefront of creating content that is emotionally receivable to the viewer's end. So, yeah, humans are still in control. And that brings me to my fourth point, which is embrace it or fall behind. And in my experience, when it comes to technology, I remember a time where there was, what's a good example? Oh yeah, okay, autofocus. There was a time when you were filming video or film, everything you were trained on how to control the three rings on the lens, which is your focus, your zoom, and your iris or your aperture. You were trained in the way where you can control all three. And there are some industries, like for the film industry, there people still use manual focus, but there's so many like AI. I wouldn't say AI, but so many machine learning type of devices now that can actually help you, with that aspect. But there was a time when everything was manual, and when I remember the first, I forgot which camera model was it, but I think it was I believe the 5D Mark III or Mark IV, or I think it was the Mark IV, is where autofocus was implemented, and that changed everything. But the people who didn't adapt to the autofocus element of it, I haven't seen them. They didn't adapt, and I wouldn't say they're lost, but I would say they didn't adapt it, and the industry moved on. So it's all about adapting. And same thing with AI. I think if you need to learn the new nuances, the new ways of editing, the new ways of finding assets, the new ways of learning how to prompt, the new ways of finding different ways to find new assets that would complement the video you're creating. So evolve, man. I think that's the key word in this point, is you have to evolve. You have to move with times. You have to move with technology, and AI is already here. So you have to move with it, grow with it, and embrace it. By embracing it, that leads me to my fifth point, which is use AI to amplify and not to replace. I was really excited when I saw ChatGPT do what ChatGPT did. The amount of times or the countless hours I spend I can write scripts, but I'm not built as a writer. So I used to like allocate X amount of times for me to write something for a client. But when ChatGPT came about, I was like, oh, okay, I can easily provide concepts and nuances and emotions that I want to preconceive in ChatGPT, and therefore ChatGPT will come up with a structure of a script, and then I will tweak it to fit what I want, how I want the script to sound and feel from it. So that was a game changer. And then it came out with the text to image, and then different platforms I started exploring, from text to image, and then Sora came out, and then now I'm using Adobe Firefly quite a bit, and then Artlist I use the AI voiceovers on that. I mean, it's been allowing me to spend more time being creative than learning or getting into the nitty-gritty of the logistics of how I'm going to make this content satisfied for the client or for myself or for a wedding couple, right? I am creating things in my creative element more, instead of thinking about all the technical aspects of it. So hence why I said it amplifies my creativity, and it doesn't really, for me at least, it doesn't really makes my creativity downgraded in any way. It actually makes me feel more creative, that I don't have to worry about the technical side of things. I don't have to worry about, okay, I need to write this script for this. Like, I have AI tools that would allow me to be more creative. Yeah, so I really hope that those points help you and give you peace of mind. I mean, the camera did not kill the painter. Photoshop did not kill off the photographer, and AI will not kill off creators. So I really hope that this content, provides you more peace of mind and gives you, I guess, the boost to keep adapting, keep evolving, and keep creating, and doing what you love, man. But yeah, if you haven't done so, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching this, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace.